our family gathered together on special occasions. Mojo Criollo is a popular marinade that my sister or myself will use to marinate the different meats that we'll be cooking. Usually she'll use Goya Mojo Criollo, but today I'm going to make the marinade homemade. So here we have an orange, we've got onion, we've got lime, we've got garlic, we've got a grapefruit, we've got pure olive oil, onion powder, garlic powder, cumin, and kosher salt. I'm going to get ready and gather all of my ingredients together and chop them up and put them in the blender here and get ready and make the marinade. So our marinade is all blended up now, and we have our chuck steak right here. We have a 1 1/4 pound chuck steak that's suitable for grilling, but today we'll be broiling the steak. So for right now, we're just going to get ready and get it prepped and marinated. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour the marinade over top in the bowl. There you see the steak is getting a nice bath in the marinade. I probably poured a little bit too much, but we're not going to use all of it, so I'm going to discard probably some of it. But yeah, the steak is going to get a nice bath in the marinade, and then we're going to broil it. So there we have our steak and the marinade, and it's good to go. It's going to sit for about 30 minutes in the refrigerator. A couple of times I've been asked about my black bean recipe, and so here it is. We have fresh black beans right here through the quick soak method that have already been rinsed and pre-soaked. And we have chopped onion. With the chopped onion, it doesn't really matter how small you get it because it's going to dissolve as it cooks down with the beans. We have 2 sprigs of oregano, and we have 4 cloves of garlic. And I'm going to show you a trick with the garlic in a minute. We also have olive oil, garlic powder, cumin, onion powder, and kosher salt. I usually use bacon, but today I'm using a skinny version of my recipe, so we're not going to have bacon today. But bacon is a key component that I do use. Usually garlic can be a little bit tricky to try to get the skin separated from the actual clove. So a trick that I've learned over the years and that I use is to just press lightly with a spoon, like so. Till you hear like a little crunching noise. Sometimes it might mess up your clove a little bit, but as you can see, it's a flawless method to get the skin off. No mess, no fuss. I also have a gift from my sister. It's a garlic masher. So this is usually what I use to get my garlic down, so it'll render down better. So I'm going to start up the black beans. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out with the olive oil and the onion and the garlic, and I'm just going to let those simmer until the onions are translucent. So basically you could see through them a little bit. So I'm pouring in my remaining olive oil. So there I have in my onion and my garlic, and I'm going to let those cook down. Cooking down, and they're rendering down, getting translucent. And again, you want to be really careful with your heat. You don't want to have your heat too high because then you'll burn your garlic, and your garlic will get a really nasty, bitter taste. So you just want to keep it at a medium heat as it cooks and simmers and becomes translucent. Now we've got to the point now where we can see that the onion is translucent. So I'm going to add in my beans. My heat a little bit to prevent the garlic from getting burned. Now I'm going to add in my oregano. I have 2 stems of oregano. I just want the leaves, so that's what I'm going to add in. Again, you can really just do 1 stem, will be fine, but you just want the leaves. And a little bit of chili powder right here. You could add about a teaspoon, not much. Again, I'm eyeballing right now. I've been doing this for a really long time. I'm going to add in about a half tablespoon of salt. Again, I've been doing this for a really long time, so it's pretty easy for me to eyeball. Same goes for your onion powder. Again, just want to add a little bit of onion powder, not too much. And you want to add in a little bit of garlic powder. Not too much because you already have garlic powder, more garlic cloves in there. And a little bit of cumin, not too much cumin. Like about a half teaspoon to a teaspoon of cumin. Again, I'm just eyeballing. And I'm going to add about a half a cup of water and just let this cook down and let the beans get nice and tender. Cilantro lime rice now cooking down. I didn't include the recipe for that in the video, but here we have it in our rice cooker. Another gift from my sister for my kitchen. It's a Black & Decker. I like it. It gets the job done. I'm not really good with rice, so The rice cooker helps me to make, air-proof rice. And there's our cilantro lime rice with lots of cilantro and a couple of lime wedges here. So it's going to have a really fresh flavor, and we're just going to let that steam and cook down. And now we're just checking in on our beans. I've reduced the heat to low, so now they're just going to simmer on low and continue to get tender. Then they should have a really good brothy flavor. Okay, so now I have some chopped up assorted onions and peppers. So we've got a little bit of green, a little bit of red, a little bit of yellow going on here. And we're going to just saute those on the stove top, but we're going to broil the steak. So here's our steak. Right here, here's the steak. The steak's been marinating for about a little over a half hour now. So we're going to get that under the broiler. And I like to broil because it burns the fat off of the meat, and it's a really healthy option and alternative to grilling. And that's usually how I prepare my steaks, and they always come out nice and juicy and tender, never overdone or too tough. So we got our vegetables on the stove top. The reason why I'm doing the vegetables on the stove top is because they'll get a little bit overdone under the broiler with the steak, and I don't really want them overdone. Again, it's a preference thing. So that's why they're on the stove top. I don't want them to get overdone. Okay, so now I'm going to get ready and put the steak under the broiler. And we're going to let it get nice and crisp on the outside and get a good sear. But inside it's going to lock in all the juices and the moisture. It's also going to burn off the fat too. And we're just going to let that cook for a few minutes, well, several minutes under the broiler. And just to let it get nice and seared on the outside, and then again it's going to lock in the juices and keep it nice and tender and moist as it renders it down and burns off the fat. Okay, so we're about 8 minutes in now, and you can see that our steak has started to get a little bit of a char going, just a little bit. It's getting nice and seared, and you can see that our marinade has started to caramelize. And this is usually when I like to flip my steaks. I like to have my steaks either medium rare or medium well. So I'm going to get ready and flip. And we're going to let it continue cooking on this side. So here's our steak, and it's resting. It's nice and tender and juicy, and we're just letting it rest. We're going to get ready and slice it up and heat up our tortillas and get ready for plating. We're also going to crumble up our queso fresco. I've already sliced it, so we're going to get ready and crumble it up and get ready for plating. our finished product. The steak fajita with the black beans and rice, and the cilantro